Last year, the Fighting Illini embarrassed Mizzou. They fast-braked and alley-ooped their way to a 92-74 win over MU. But tonight, the Tigers aren't looking back. They're looking for revenge. These Tigers are trained by the Dean of Big 8 coaches, Stormin' Norman Stewart, and led by all-world forward Derrick Chievous. Many feel the man with the Band-Aid is a cut above the rest.
But Illinois is on the warpath, and no doubt the master of defense, Lou Henson, has a plan to keep Chievous under wraps. He'll be counting on the Sultan of Slam, newcomer Kenny Battle, to provide the punch. You can bet he'll show off his stuff tonight in this battle for bragging rights.
Now, live from the arena, it's the Missouri Tigers of the Big 8 versus the Fighting Illini of the Big 10. Bringing you the action, Kevin Slayton and Gary Apple.
Expected at the arena in St. Louis for the intersectional battle between the Missouri Tigers and the Illinois Fighting Illini. And when they all get seated, it may indeed be the all-time.
Junior from Palmyra, Missouri, Greg Church. At guard, wearing number 21, a 6'5 junior from Chicago, Illinois, Byron Irvin. And in the other guard, wearing number 24, a 6'2 senior from Detroit, Michigan, Lynn Hardy. The coach of the Missouri Tigers is Norm Stewart.
All right, we'll be back
with athletes, Kevin. It's just how good are those athletes?
The surprise starter is Bardo for Illinois, wearing number 35 in the dark uniform. Missouri in their home whites, they are the home team. Defeat Church and has it taken away. The turnover for Gill, leading the Illini. They can move. First points for the game belong to the Illini.
Gill gets up the floor so well. He's what high-tempo game.
Blackwell around, Chievous. Nice feed inside to Bardo.
A great move by Blackwell. Got to the baseline, drew the defense, and then dished off for the easy bet.
Hardy able to beat it, though. Hardy stops. His first shot is golden. And the key to Lynn Hardy's game, Gary, if he hits his first shot.
Well, he concentrated well there, pulled up, squared himself to the basket, and hit the 15-footer.
The quickness of Irvin. Watch this dunk.
Oh! That's why he's in there. Great.
But they got hurt that time as Irvin converted it into a bucket. Here's Battle over Church. He gets it to fall and draws the foul, and that's the second against Church.
Well, if Battle is allowed, got so much talent this year, he can go in so many different directions. This is the sixth different starting lineup he's used this year.
Bodie declared. Now here comes the Missouri fast break. Hardy to Bunton, and he gets the roll.
Oh, we could be in for a track meet tonight, Kevin. Both of these teams aren't afraid to put it on the floor and run it up the floor. Yeah. But one thing Lou Henson has done, and a great pass inside the battle here. There we go again. When you get it in there, he's going to be deadly. One thing Lou Henson has done this year.
Back live at the arena in St. Louis, the Fighting Illini coming into this game with a 7-2 record lead the Missouri Tigers, ranked 17th or 19th, depending on the poll that you read. The Tigers 4-1 behind the veteran in the Big 8, Norm.
Some foul trouble on Chievous, because if he comes out of there, Illinois is very small.
Here's Bunton, and he hits.
Little pump fake, got Chievous up.
3 with the ball, and he's in there replacing Blackwell, who is 0 for 3 so far. Chievous with the hook.
Wow.
Here's Bunton off the baseline, and that's 6 for Bunton.
Oh, they broke the press beautifully there. Illinois is not putting the
2-on-3. Irvin's going to take it now and flips it out to Hardy. He camps under it and hits it.
There you go.
It was a deuce, a two-pointer.
Just as you said.
Bunton nearly traveled. Chievous a three-pointer, and it won't fall. And ironically, as we approach the 7-minute mark of the first half, the first shot of the game for Chievous. Blackwell was not scoring. Illinois is a different team without his senior leadership. Here's Bunton. He's 5 for 5. They dared him, and he did it.
Well, when Nathan is hitting that shot inside, if he pulls his game outside, you've got to go out there and get him.
And I've been surprised that Norm Stewart would allow that in his building.
Well, a lot of times down in the ACC, these guys call the games much closer. That's been
Maryland by a point here for the Tigers junior out of Palmyra. And he's been so impressive off the bench.
Early in about, will this team develop into the team that many think they will? We're playing at a different level now than they were a month ago.
But a different player. Smith follows his own shot and now hits it.
Very quick in jumping, went right back up over low.
A minute ago, when I say wild man in Gary Leonard's terms, I mean he's just a different very well, but he doesn't get pushed around anymore. 4 in a row for Church, and we're to 8 with under 7 minutes left. Look at Church all alone. Great screen from Leonard.
That was the key to the play. Gary Leonard saw.
Howard, nice dish off to Bunton, who cans it. Well, that ends the run for Maryland. This offensively before this game is over. Oh, great pass to Sandbody from Church. 4 now for Sandbody. Center that gets caught away from the ball. And more than likely, it was the same there. Church made 5 of 5 from the line tonight. To correct that, he has 7 points tonight. And now 8. He's been living right.
Good pass by McCoy. And watch Williams just clear out with his body. Good call by the official.
The pressure again from the line for Chievous will then give him the all-time Big 8 conference record for free throws attempted.
Got great body control.
We saw that graphic that he holds the conference record for three.
Really just stepped right in and played tonight. Rodney Walker has seen a little time. These are two guys who haven't been on the floor.
Other than Church, Missouri not getting much scoring from anyone. Church has 8 free throws in a bucket to give him 10 on nearly every offensive record when he graduates. 3 free throws in 3 attempts tonight.
We'll watch just how winded he is throughout the night.
And another guy that gets top. There's Chievous working against Gatlin. That's a mismatch. Chievous goes up over him.
That's what they need to do. Get him the ball right down in there, about 8 feet.
Here's Chievous. He wants it now over Gatlin. He just let it go short. And it's tipped in by Church. The lead is 2 for Maryland. They need a timeout.
It's both of them. KU gets the rebound. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. You watch it run down. Kansas trying to get a shot up, and it's on the way by Livingston, but if it even goes in, it won't count because time would expire. So the first half comes to end, and the Kansas Jayhawks are leading the Missouri Tigers by a score of 34-31, and led all the way by as many as 9. And you just
the intensity, and it's because of the extremely good defense played by both squads.
And, you know, we look for Danny Manning, and you're looking at the Tigers scoring. Nathan Bunton is the leading scorer, and it's been, well, there are a lot of deuces up there.
Well, they've spread the scoring around, but not as much as they would like to, I'm sure.
And Missouri. Irvin from the outside. There he is. I'll tell you what, look out for this guy. It's Manning. Cleared out three-point effort. Good. And that one goes down for Lee Coward. That's his second three-point for the University of Missouri. Irvin and Smith check out.
Now, they're the two players that missed those last two errant shots.
Kansas has led the majority of the way. Chievous gets it up and down. That's his first field goal.
That's extreme.
Basket good or not?
I don't believe it was. They waved it off. Livingston was pushing him. You know, Church may have...
42-38, University of Kansas. Got it down.
Don't think he didn't learn that move on the playground. He went in there among those quick.
Coward for three. Yes. That's his third three-point. Branch. Foul. And it's on. They find the man underneath. Might have had one too many passes, but no sir.
You're right. It looks like Church is a little hesitant to put.
Played. We didn't know about him. But Lynn Hardy, who's been a key for Missouri, is out for a couple of weeks now.
He's had back. He told us today that he probably would not get back into the lineup for 2 weeks.
Church ties it up. He has averaged 11. He has averaged 5 points a game. This is the third game in a row that Bunton has scored in double figures, and he's on the line and keeps adding to it.
And work the ball to get a high percentage shot. They've been able to stay with Kansas. But when they put up those quick shots, the unexpected.
And Jay Randolph and Gary Thompson are going to be there to tell you all about it. Chievous scoring for Missouri.
He almost drew a tougher. He's not neglecting him outside when he dishes the ball off.
Now it's laid back to Bunton. The jump shot is good.
Patience, patience. And that's what Missouri needs to continue to do. Make the Jayhawks
back in for Kansas. Church on the line. 4 points for him. Make it 5.
Coming that kind of a play.
Church for the lead. Tigers take it.
Penalize a team that maybe is not as good as a Missouri and bring them in here where the Jayhawks have a big win.
What he can do here. Got it. His biggest lead of the day, which would be 2 points.
Well, I think that ties the score up, doesn't it?
Oh, I beg your pardon. I was reading the wrong side of the scoreboard. You're right. Good day for him. His average is 11. Gets it down.
He sure had a good game last year in the Big 8 tournament. He came off the bench.
Clears it out. They've got a 2-3-on-2. Manning takes it home.
He took the 3 biggest strides I've ever seen a college player take from midcourt. Was able to use his body and put it in with his left hand.
Now Chievous comes back, backs it in, but let's see.
It should be. It should count. Yes, they do count it. And he's right to the glass.
You know, you can almost see it in Chievous' eyes. You're not going to get a...
He goes down that left sideline, used a little slide step, and Newton was definitely moving, and he picks up his third foul.
Doug Smith on the line for number 1.
Talk about pressure for...
Number 2, got them both. So it's 4 points for the game for Smith, who is...
And Sandbody and Church, 2 veterans who have been through this war before.
And Irvin... Missouri's got to get some shots in a hurry. They need a couple of three-pointers. There's a try for one of them, and Chievous gets it.
You could tell that was in the second it left his hand. Had that nice. They're going to have 2 possessions to pull up.
Look what Chievous is looking at now. Didn't bother him, though. 21 a game. Yes, on the second one, 16 points. Timeout for Missouri. Little doubt about that. 49 seconds left. Coward three-pointer.
Missouri got a timeout? No, they didn't.
It tries it. It is short of the mark. And a foul by Church banks it in.
Timeout, Missouri.
Just like the script said. Close ball game. And Chievous has got to unload. He does. No good. And the game is over. The game is over.
That'd be the kind of game we expected. 78-74 in favor of Kansas. Went right down to the wire.
Mizzou fan, what's wrong with this picture? 0-2 is not what Tiger fans expected. This is what they expected. A record like last year. But this is reality. It's packed to capacity as the Missouri Tigers
The defending champions of the Big Eight opened their Big Eight home season against the Iowa State Cyclones. The 175 meetings by a wide margin, but Iowa State gets the tip-off in the Bunton 22 for the Missouri Tigers, who are down by 3. Penetration and a feed off to Bunton.
Lee Cowher this year only 26% so far in the season.
And he hits the first one. You know, that's a tough thing to figure. Who has set the Big Eight free throw record last week at Lincoln. The cap was on the basket.
That when the next statistics come out, almost 26 points a game.
Byron Irvin answers. The transfer feeded by Missouri. The outlet 2-on-1 Smith, right lane. And Irvin.
Good fast break by Missouri. Good outlet pass, getting down in a hurry, beating Iowa State at their own. Here's Smith, 6'10" center. Watch it. A little dish off. And the offensive man here, Irvin, cut in front of Robinson and shielded him off. So he had to
works the ball to the inside. Missouri takes it away. 3-on-1 bust out. 4-on-1. Cowher.
What a move by Cowher. He took the ball with one hand, going the other way, through the Duke. They most of the time out. This is the play moments ago here. Watch Cowher. Takes the ball, it goes the one way, takes it with a little fake of the one hand, and then controls it up under.
Looking for the shot. Byron Irvin forced it, didn't get it. Followed by Irwin, yes.
The Tigers are banging those boards, getting 2 and 3 shots to be pleased in this early start.
Byron Irvin with 6 points, missed his last free throw, but connects on that one.
Sandbody gives Grayer a lot of trouble defensively. He's an excellent defensive player. Held Grayer to 9 points here last year.
Doug Smith found they've controlled the board so far. Smith all the way. Basket is good by Smith.
Very bad. Here you see Smith coming into your picture. He goes up right there. He jumps away from the defensive man and gets
17-13. I thought I saw the official hold up to 2 fingers on it. Right now, Smith comes back to answer and everything else when they try to get back underneath. Missouri outlet. Byron Irvin.
Tigers really looking down court fast, and they've been successful.
Iowa State trailing the Missouri Tigers, and Irwin works for the shot, banks it in, and will have a chance for a 3-point play.
Missouri with good interior passing. They're a club that always goes inside. See him get inside. Dorfeld comes up. The offensive charge. He drew 5 of those against Nebraska last Wednesday night, but this time he...
Valley High. Played it a couple of years at the University of Nebraska, Omaha as Irwin. So he has 6 for the game. Irwin trying to get it back, and he does. And Gary, I saw him do that so many times. A 3-year starter. Smith on the line.
Keep up this pace for entire 40 minutes either.
Offensive board by Nate Bunton.
Well, the Tigers been terrific with the fast break and this board play and great passing,
Was that pretty or not? Smith shot blocked nicely by Dorfeld, but picked up and finally a tip and missed. Bunton gets it on a 2nd try. Inbound Missouri got the rebound. Irwin goes for 3.
Well, Irvin is feeling it. And the Tigers are staying inside. Iowa State always gets hurt on the board, but they are really banging it.
Cowher. My goodness, the Tigers can't miss.
Throughout his career, score Oklahoma 30, Pitt 22.
Bunton. We have Chievous coming into the game for the first time for Missouri. He will replace Sandbody.
Well, I said at the top of the show that I thought Missouri was going to...
So you know they can put him on the board. Coward. Lee, the sophomore. Think of Coward, you think of a guy who is very unselfish, and those 44 assists would attest to that.
He got Missouri.
Missouri still keeping the pressure on defensively. Dorfeld, shot blocked. Taken away by Smith, but...
Dorfeld turns around, goes for the shot. Smith up there, good shot blocker, leads his club.
All the way cross court to Smith. 11 for him.
Defensive end for Iowa State has gone to the end. Bourne and Tompkins chasing man for man. It doesn't make much difference right now.
Missouri hitting fouls for Iowa State. Missouri on the inbound. Sandbody. Now inside the baseline. Tipped in by Chievous.
Missouri really physical.
Sandbody takes it away.
There was 2 Missouri Tigers that time back ahead of Iowa State. They're really converting from offense or from defense.
A little bit short there by Tompkins.
2 on
Tigers.
1.
Yeah, now it's 3 on 1. Irvin again.
We got a blowout.
Norm Stewart has been able to keep a fresh team on the floor, and everybody hit. And that's Chievous. It didn't make. Sandbody hits the baseline.
Sandbody doesn't take many shots, and most of them are like that. He's on the opposing team. They really get on Greer up there.
Chievous with 8. Tigers lead 59-27. And Sandbody in there for the rebound. It's a loose ball. Pickerman followed it by Chievous.
Iowa State just getting killed on the boards. Touch.
31-point lead for Missouri. Inside to Chievous.
He gets the basket, but he doesn't get the basket.
Ball. Follow, blocked up in the air goes Chievous to clear it out. 2 seconds. Shot on the way by Irvin. Off the backboard. And the first half ends, and the sellout crowd roaring almost in disbelief. They love their Tigers, but 63 points against Iowa State in the first half. The Cyclones have 36. At halftime, the Missouri Tigers, who just couldn't put it together really in their first 2 games against Kansas, and
really foul trouble, had 3.
Irvin has just been torrid from the floor, and that's his reputation. That's the way he was at Arkansas. Points, probably his best first half of the year. Alley-oop! And Coward is going to be alone for the layup.
Woods made a good defensive play right there, I thought. He looked 26%, and he knocked down 2 in a row, his first ones. There he gets 1 out of 2.
So it's 68-40. State at Oklahoma next on most of these stations. Smith banks it in.
Well, as you said earlier, they expect a lot of. That's what fans have come to expect from Iowa State, is that getting the ball out quick and scoring as quick as they can off a break or made basket.
Partial block.
3 on 2.
Right down the middle, Coward. Nice left-hand lane feed. And Chievous with 2 more. Because he has done so many things.
And he's with 16 points now. Is that what you've got him with?
12 in the second half today. By the way, I was right the first time on the fouls on Greer. He has 3.
She was shooting 74.8% on free throws coming in.
18 for Chievous. 77. And the senior official, as Chievous hits a free throw. Underneath, nice feed to Barrett Irvin by Chievous.
Beautiful pass, Mustafa, about the interior passing. Here they go up top, down inside, steps in right there and just stuffs it down. Good passing, good assist. Oh. Second Missouri. 402 points last year. There's only 2 guys ahead of him. The great Steve Stepanovich now playing in the pros.
Missouri moving the ball around the perimeter. Derrick Chievous works for the shot. Boy, is he on.
Seen that a few times.
Here come the Tigers. Coward. You know, Missouri for LaFesta Rhodes, 86-61. Bunton. They do it again.
Nobody any better on that shot of coming in.
By Chievous. Out to Smith, 2 on 1.
Oh, what a play. And Bunton, 6'9". He was the guy that laid that ball up there for Smith.
Iowa State 63. And we'll return after this from your friends at Phillips 66.
That was a career night.
Church on the follow. And the Muscle Man gets a pair for the Tigers, and it's 92. It is chopped. 6 off of that. Smith underhand.
Oklahoma going to Colorado, and they struggled out there before they finally pulled out a 20-point win.
Ball game. 21. For 22. Let's check that.
In a row. He makes one and he makes two.
Norman Brown has now come in for Iowa State, 79. So Smith tries to get the two back and does, and there's the 100. 100 to Sandbody, 7 for the game. 8. Conservative as far as the time is concerned right now. Chievous missed the shot, but goaltending against Rhodes, and Missouri will get a pair out of that. 3:47 left in the game. Chievous. And Detroit's on the line. Hey, going for 14. Church getting ready to come in for the Tigers. 14 for Putnam.
Good shooter, but has not found the stroke so far this year at Missouri. Not shooting a good percentage.
26 for Chievous. The game. He didn't play much of the first 10 minutes even.
And this ball game, as I said, they've been trading baskets for quite some time. And right there, get over the baseline. The big guys read this basketball, but they ran up against the team here this afternoon. And that against the Tigers that have really played an amazing first half. And they're
connects on the follow.
Church did to Woods what Woods was doing to
McIntyre on the line. After this game, we'll be going to Stillwater, Oklahoma. The Wildcats of Kansas State against the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. Tyre on the line. He's 3 seconds, 3 seconds.
Crowd hollering shoot.
And they let the clock run. Rolfe keeps the ball. And the Missouri Tigers win by 119-93. Norm Stewart, his Tigers get their first Big 8 win. We'll be back after this from your...
The first half teams only dream about as they blew out the Cyclones at the Hearn Center. And tonight here in Stillwater, it's another must game on the road for the Tigers. The Mizzou Television Network presents Missouri Tiger basketball. Tonight, the Tigers journey to Gallagher Iba Arena.
For tonight's game, first for the Missouri Tigers, starting at forward, 6'8" junior, number 42, Mike Sandbody. At forward, 6'9", and a sophomore, number 22, Nathan Button. At center, 6'10" freshman, number 34, Doug Smith. At guard, 6'1", and a sophomore, number 4, Lee Coward. And at guard, 6'5", and a junior, number 21, Byron Irvin.
Listen up, man, listen up.
And now the starting lineup for the Oklahoma.
So Missouri has taken away the most effective weapon Oklahoma State can throw at them, and that's Richard Dumas. Smith now has 7, and he hasn't missed anything.
This will be a good test for the Tigers tonight. This is a very noisy building. Beautiful dish off, drew the defense, and then ran out.
Chievous at
Oklahoma State running the break in the easy two.
Chievous 7th in the conference in scoring with that 20-point average now. Away, 3-on-1 with Coward leading the way to Irvin. It's blocked. Irvin gets it back and scores. This dunk.
And he can do it with authority. It's been kind of a weird tempo game so far. Great move here by Irvin as he stays with the block shot by Jerry. Great entry pass. Smith gets burned going for the ball. That's an easy do.
Todd Christian's three-pointer here pulled Oklahoma State to within 1.
He was their leading scorer.
Trips to
Boy, is Smith an athlete. The pass may have been a little off, goes up with one hand, and boom, it was behind his head, but a great swing. Lee Coward here sees nobody pick him up, goes strong to the basket, and I believe they called an offensive foul. I don't like the call.
They call the offensive foul, but more importantly, Coward is in pain. His right hand, which is his shooting hand, appears to...
inside the kitchen. And again, look at the position right there. When you get it there, you can't stop the guy. Smith tries to come over from the weak side. No, boom, great pass inside to Smith for the easy two. Sign of a real cool stuff.
Scores Oklahoma with a big win on the road at Ames, Iowa, and thus the standings have K-State and Oklahoma up there on top of the man and Doug Smith, Robert Smith of Oklahoma State.
Officials did a good job of stepping right in, cooling the tempers, and Norm very wisely says, Doug, take a seat. Watch inside here. Robert Smith getting the position, gets hammered, although it looked mostly like ball. Doug Smith gets called on the foul.
Derrick Chievous, you must give credit to the senior leader of the Tigers. He cooled Smith down, who still was after Robert Smith. Now Norm Stewart's telling him the same thing that I'm sure Derrick Chievous said, was knock it off. And Bodie knocked down, and the foul will go against Oklahoma State. Foul you normally don't get on the road.
By Mike Sambodi sacrificing his body. He's set, starts, takes off. No question on the call.
We'll be back with more. And a foul, I believe, against Smith.
Starks getting so high off the floor here. Watch him, second man through, way off the floor, and goaltend. But the key again was Coward going right past number 10, basketball team.
Howard to the line.
Says it all about Billiken's junior swingman Monroe Douglas, who leads the team in scoring, free throw percentage, and minutes played.
I think I really started playing when I was like in the 5th grade. I think I got cut from the team like twice, and then I made it when I was like in the 6th grade. And since then, I've been doing pretty good at it.
Monroe's confidence has climbed immeasurably this year and peaked in mid-January. He scored 24 at Duke, then the 9th-ranked team in the country.
Monroe Douglas just makes a play all by himself.
And he followed that with a 30-point show against Dayton 10 days ago. That's a career high.
I go out to play and just to have fun. And if it's a night that I'm on, then my teammates will get me the ball if I'm scoring. And, you know, it's playing team basketball. They'll give it to me if I'm on. And if I'm not on, then I'll give it to someone who is.
The guy can really jump. The guy has tremendous quickness. And the guy loves to play the game. He's got one more year left, and it's going to be a tremendous loss for us because he's been like a son to me. You know, he's been here for 4 years, and he's the guy that put our program on the map.
If Monroe has a flaw, and the way he's been going lately, that is up for debate. It's relying just a little too much on a wealth of natural ability.
You know, things come too easy for him, and at times he takes things too easy. So if he could develop that concentration, and Lord knows we've been talking about it with him for 4 years, if he could develop that over the summer, I'm still hopeful that his senior year can turn him into a really all-American type caliber player.
Monroe Douglas is a gifted scorer, 15.5 points a game, and that average is on the rise. And the Billiken style of play fits him perfectly.
I like the style we're playing now, you know, because if we run and gun, I don't think we had a team to just run up and down. You know, physically, we couldn't run with some of the quicker teams. So I think the style we have is, you know, very good for us.
He's a nice kid. He's a pleasure to be around. And that attitude is a plus, and yet it's a negative too, because of that easygoing attitude. Sometimes he doesn't work as hard as he should work, and he knows that.
But you can't expect a guy who was cut twice in the 5th grade to be perfect, right?
When I first started playing, I didn't know any fundamentals. I didn't know how to shoot, and I just wanted to get out there and play. So now I was, really young, I just wanted to learn.
I'd say he's learned rather well, wouldn't you? For KPLR TV Sports, I'm Rich Gould.
How'd you have good seats?
Not shut out in the second half. Starks fouls him his 4th. 18 in the game for the Tiger freshman, who's been averaging just a hair under 20 in his last 3 games.
Byron Irvin very alert out on the floor.
In presentation of the University of Missouri. Any rebroadcast or retransmission of tonight's game.
Here you see Byron catch.
To practice every day, and he's got that smile on his face. He plays with a lot of enthusiasm, and he tries to do what the coach asks, and that's really meaningful. So let's take a look at number 22, Nathan Bunton.
Last year, Nathan Bunton was the Tigers' freshman sensation, exploding onto the scene.
Watch Bunton.
Oh, does that bring this crowd up?
Enter Nathan Bunton, the sophomore.
Shot by Bourne and rebounded by Bunton.
He still is the only Tiger to have started every game, averaging 11.5 points. But the spotlight, which always shined on him last year, has shifted. But that's no problem for the Breeze.
I really don't have to score all the time, but when I get a chance to shoot my shot, I'll take it. But all I do is try to rebound, because that wasn't my strong suit last year. Rebounding, I had like an average of 5 points up my game. Now I moved my rebound average up, and I'm just doing anything I can to contribute to the team.
Nathan's biggest asset may not be his shooting or rebounding, but his work ethic, always hustling, whether it's the closing minutes or a day at practice.
If I'm not feeling all right with myself when I practice or when I play, and after practice or the game, and I don't feel that I did what I could do at my best, then I don't feel right with myself, and I feel I cheated myself out of something. So all I do is come out and try and work hard every day and do what's necessary to contribute.
A member of the Tigers' Motown connection, Nathan didn't come to Columbia by himself. His best man came along with him, his mother Eve.
She's like an anchor at times, and then, you know, she's my #1 fan. She likes to watch me play, and I like her to watch me play. And it just gives me that extra added boost to really do my best.
His mom may be the president, but thanks to his continued improvement, she is just one of many in Nathan's growing fan club. Ken Dubinsky reporting for the Norm Stewart Show.
Norm, there's a term that's come, role player. Where did that role player deal come from?
Well, I think what we're trying to do is players.
Every coach appreciates a great scorer, but most coaches dream of great role players. Players who do all the little things right that add up to success. And Norm Stewart is lucky to have two, in juniors Mike Sambodi and Greg Church.
We're real happy with that role, and you know, I think a lot of people coming in college, you don't expect more, expect to score, you know, and do a lot of things. But you know, Mike and I accept our roles the way they are and are happy with it. You know, we like doing the little things and contributing that way.
I just kind of do the things I do the best, which is playing defense, or, you know, getting a rebound here or there, or picking up a loose ball, or making the right pass, or, you know, anything I can do to contribute. I'll take an assist than a basket anytime. I mean, whatever it takes to win.
And longtime Tiger fans know they are just the latest in a long line of great Tiger role players. Back in the early 70s, John Brown and Al Eberhard were scoring the points, but players like Mike Griffin and Gary Link were doing the little things right that allowed them to put the points on the board.
You know, they're usually very aggressive. They really come out and pick you up on the floor. And, you know, like I said, they may not be scoring all the points, but they're so valuable in doing the little things, picking up the loose balls, getting the key rebounds, and making the free throws, really contributing to a total team effort.
The late 70s and early 80s have been labeled the Sunvold-Stepanovich era, as John, Steve, and the Tigers won 4 straight Big 8 titles. But Tiger fans will also remember that Mark Dressler's passing, rebounding, and defense played a big role in that Tiger success.
I was considered like the 6th man, and you know, it's a role, and then you have to think about it. Particularly this team this year, they've got such great players that somebody's going to have to come off the bench that, you know, could possibly be starting, and you know, it's just a role somebody has to fill.
Boone McCrary, Greg Plaker, the names go on and on. But the common denominator is simple. They've loaded the pistols that have allowed the big guns to win the shootouts.
I think Coach Stewart recruited Mike and I for that type of role, you know, like all the other Missouri players have been in the past. So, you know, we accept our roles. We're very happy with it.
And so are Missouri fans. Ken Dubinsky reporting for the Norm Stewart Show. Missouri's leading scorer in 1978 and leading rebounder in 77 and 78. Former Tiger Clay Johnson could really light up the scoreboard, including 39 points in one game. But there was more to his game than just offense.
A lot of players think, you know, if you're going to play basketball, you got to score a lot of points. And my defensive ability is really what got me into the NBA. You know, defense really comes first. A lot of young players really don't know that.
Johnson played 3 years in the NBA, including an NBA championship with the LA Lakers. He and his wife now own their own business in Kansas City, but he still remembers his days in the black and gold.
Some of the greatest years of my life, and I'll never forget them. Black and gold will always have a special place in my heart, and really my family.
Band-Aids Court.
Hi, I'm Derrick Chievous, and welcome to Band-Aids Court. Today we have the pleasure of having Greg the Hammer Church from Palmyra, Missouri. Welcome to the show, Greg.
Thanks, Steve.
Let's take a moment to reflect on your nickname, the Hammer. It seems like in the beginning of the season, you were just doing the opposite role. You were scoring more, you were passing well, shooting the J, and it seemed like your Hammer role cooled down a little bit. What made that happen?
I'm not for sure. I think I was just playing the same way. Just some opportunities came my way, and I just took advantage of them as far as scoring goals. And of course, the rebounding, I've always rebounded pretty good. And the scoring is just, I took advantage of a few opportunities.
I had the opportunity to be here for 2 years with you and watch you progress. It seems like you're running the court extremely well. You're catching some billion cats, and it seems like you got some leaping ability now. You're dunking the ball quite a few. What do you do to get yourself pumped up like that? It seemed like last year, like I said before, you were the hammer roll, and now you're like more agile and doing the hammer part just a little bit.
Well, I think I've gotten older, and as older I've matured a little bit, and I've got a little quickness and a little more strength, so I can do a little more than I have been in the past.
I understand that you caught a 12-point deer. God. Did I say that right? Did I say that right? Come on, man, you gotta answer that. I'm trying to pump you up.
No, Derrick, you don't catch a deer, you shoot a deer.
Well, tell us a little bit about the incident where you had to go through this ordeal, because you seem like a heck of a sportsman.
Well, I was sitting there in the woods, and I seen him about 200 yards away, and I shot him. That's about it.
It seemed like when you had it on the bus, it was just unbelievable, the type of thing that you showed us. Did you have any, like, reactions when you slit the head off and just went after it, man? Oh, my God, man. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Cut. Enough for hunting, Greg. Let's get back onto the hardwood. It seems like a lot of people think of you a very over-aggressive basketball player. How do you describe yourself? You know, a lot of your teammates call you the Hammer, but we just appreciate the hard work that you do. Seems like a lot of coaches in the Big 8 seem like you're overly aggressive, too much of a Bill Laimbeer type of player. How do you see yourself?
Oh, I don't see myself as that type of player at all. I've been labeled the dirtiest player in the Big 8 and things like that, which is, it kind of upsets me because I'm not out there to do that. I'm out there to play hard and be aggressive. And I think that's what helps our team win, is someone to be out there to play hard and play aggressive and dive for balls and, pound on the inside, and whatever it takes to win is what I'm going to do. I don't care what they say.
It seems like basketball doesn't last forever, and a lot of people ask me, what would I be doing if I wasn't playing basketball? What would you be doing if you weren't playing basketball?
Well, I really don't know. Probably, working in my hometown, because, we wasn't financially stable enough to send me to college if it wasn't for the scholarship.
Thanks a lot, Greg, for being on the show.
Thanks, Steve.
Join us next week on Band-Aids Court when we'll have another one of Missouri's finest players.
Missouri Tiger basketball, the Kansas State Wildcats against the Missouri Tigers. Is not at all hesitant to fire it up from the three-point range.
No, he's averaging 25.7 points a game in the Big 8.
Better than 30.
Well, in his last 4 games, he's averaging 30 points a game, 10 rebounds, and most importantly, he's shooting 60.
And they'll battle the picks on the line. Kansas State has won 7 in a row, haven't won 8 in a row since the 81-82 season. And the opening
jump shot early. That wing jumper will be open.
Irvin from the three-pointer. He's been hot. Coward with Irvin. Coward gets Henson in the air, doesn't get the foul, but hits the shot. Norm Stewart. That was a costly tactic at Oklahoma. Chievous with a three-pointer. Woo! They're smoking tonight.
They are.
Norm Stewart has primed his team for the NCAA tournament and not the Big 8 conference titles because of this. Look at the people who have missed games with injuries. Hardy, of course, lost for the season. Church, that 3-3 means he started parts of
the pressure on their 3-2 matchup zone. Tigers need to move the ball.
Irvin with a three, and he hits it. Irvin has hit 2 3-pointers. 10 minutes left in the half. Chievous lets it fly just inside the three-point line. Derrick has 5.
As you mentioned, Henson has been ice cold lately.
Chievous answers at the other end. 7 for Chievous.
Wow, you think the guard on the strong side doubles up on it.
Chievous, oh, he hits the shot!
There you see the pass inside to Chievous. Couldn't go up on the alley-oop. Hangs, what beautiful body control. Got hit from behind and from in front.
one of the finest in the country.
I'll tell you something about Chievous. TV announcer one day.
He's a fun type of a person. Here's Coward with a three-pointer. This is unreal. Lee Coward leads a 4-on-1.
Boy, I love the way he takes the ball to the goals with the
Bunton, that short one on the baseline. Look at Sandbody work the offensive board. Cash it in.
That's what the Tigers have to.
Most of their success from the outside. And there's Coward with a three-pointer. That's his second of the night. He has 10. He had his career best play. Coward to Irvin. And a foul.
They don't get any better than that. What a great ball. Wasn't there on the break. Floated up and then, boom, spotted Irvin underneath for the 2 and the foul. From another angle, look at how sharp that pass had to be through traffic.
If you can pass like that, there's a place for you. Victories for Norm Stewart as Irvin makes it a conventional three-point play. But he thought it would be. Chievous off the baseline has it. 12 for the Tigers All-American.
There's the quick passing.
Had to miss the next game because of the pain. He hits the free throw here. Howard averaged 15 points and 7 assists.
And one of the great things about Lee is he is an excellent free throw shooter. And you've got a guy who handles the ball.
Howard with a three. He lulled him to sleep and hit it with 7 seconds left. Henson has to hurry. And the horn sounds. We'll be back with some of the halftime festivities after this on the Mizzou Television Network. Lee Coward will do well to do. Oh, look at this! A monster dunk!
Lee Coward spotting Smith all alone for the jam, and then Lee stood there with...
Smith will take that shot. Oh, the feed to Chievous! Around on your hoop at your house and playing in a ball game. Chievous with the turnarounder, and that's why he can do it in the middle of the ball game in heavy traffic. Playing with 2. Here's Leonard in the key, and he hits a big one. Oh, what a shot of confidence! You can just feel it rise.
Away.
Chievous gets it and hits it. 18 for the senior All-American from Jump.
Pushed down at the other end of the floor. Bledsoe may have gotten away with one.
Irvin with a 3. His third of the game, and he has 12. I mentioned Chievous now in 3rd place. Will Scott begins to get physical with Gary Leonard, who just left.
As you watch here, he has his arm wrapped around Scott's head.
He thought it was a fly.
Well, Scott had reason to be a little bit steamed, I think.
Along with Gary Apple, Mizzou by 4. Kansas State 8 points and got 2 fouls for them. Doug Smith with an aggressive move, and the Tigers are back in the lead. 4 points for Smith. Oh, Irvin with the quick steal. Chievous with Coward. Tigers by 4.
With the Big 18th in China to Beijing, China.
Howard with a 3. Well, he didn't shy away from it after missing most of the Kansas State shots the rest of the way. There's a three-pointer from him, and he answered. 12 in the game for Richmond. That's 11 under his average, but that was a big one. That puts Kansas State back in the lead with 3:50 left.
That's where you see a veteran.
Oh, look at Chievous with a 3. How's that for a response?
Well, it's money in the bank time now. The Stars will come out.
These are 2 players that want the ball at this time of the game. Richmond with a 3.
I don't believe what...
Boy, as a coach, you have to love. Look at Chievous. Now he'll answer. And he hits it! It's incredible!
And as you look across the way at the scouts, they're all just smiling.
Norm Stewart is fired up! Yeah, the lob has not worked tonight and nearly backfired again. Three-pointer from... Will Scott answers at the other end.
Oh, we are getting a show tonight. This is
51 seconds around. Missouri has that. And Doug Smith to the line for 2 important free throws, and he rolls the first one home. Well, that means a 3
moments than he does early, but this is a big one.
Oh, 2 big free throws for the Tiger freshman. Can't drive the hoop. Can't hit it. Look at Bledsoe. 28 seconds left, and immediately Kansas State calls a timeout, and you can't say enough of it. You have to maul the guy in the corner. Howard is perfect. 24 for the Tigers sophomore. Still tie the Tigers. Not now. 25 for Coward. Here comes Richmond, a 3. Oh, he's unbelievable, and they call an immediate timeout with 19 seconds left. In the Big 8 tournament game against the Wildcats a year ago, and he hits that one. Now it'll take a 3-pointer. And Bunton drills both, and Missouri calls the timeout. So Doug Smith, Nathan Bunton, and Lee.
3-point land.
Oh, a bad pass. Scramble for the ball. Henson comes up with it. Now Richmond, 13 seconds left. McCoy, of all people, hits a 3-pointer. I can't believe it. Missouri calls timeout, but a foul against Richmond, unbelievably. Unbelievable.
And I believe they got, let's see, Mitch Richmond on a push. He puts Sambodi in the corner.
5 seconds remaining. We're tied. I cannot believe he fouled.
I think they called it an intentional foul as we look at this whole play transpire. Henson on the floor. Ball was loose. McCoy came up with it. It was close whether it was a 3 or not.
The thing, you saw Richmond yelling at McCoy and Bodie, and no foul was called. Sambodi hits the free throw for the intentional foul. Oh, we talked about Sambodi's free throw shooting. You don't think that'll give him a dose of confidence, do you? And Missouri gets the ball.
I can't understand why Kansas State committed the intentional foul with the game tied.
Well, the only thing you can think of is that Richmond wasn't aware that that was a 3-pointer and then it tied the game. That's the only thing that would explain it.
That's Mitch Richmond committing the intentional foul on Mike Sambodi, and Sambo goes to the foul line, and Cooley sinks 2 free throws.
Show you how. 25 for Derrick.
Over.
4-point lead with 3 seconds remaining. The list is long and distinguished. Doug Smith. All right, final salvo from Kansas State. Off the glass, Missouri has won it 79-75. And the Tigers lose to 14-5 and send Kansas State to an identical record. However, the Wildcats remain in a tie now atop the Big 8 Conference lead with Oklahoma, where they must journey this weekend and battle with the Sooners. What a final finale in the last minute was everything, Gary.
Including Temple, Jerry Darkanian felt that Missouri would be their toughest opponent. They're led by Derrick Chievous, super All-American ball player, has great statistics throughout the 4 years of his career.
Missouri.
Welcome to the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, for this game today between Missouri and UNLV. Along with Billy Packer, I'm Jim Nance. 16:06 left in the first half, and the Tigers of Missouri with the basketball and the lead 8-6. Georgetown at 2 points. Nathan Bunton, Derrick Chievous, Lee Coward have scored, and that's Derrick Chievous, the All-American, with his second bucket of the game. Mike Sambodi is the other starter for the time. It's Lee Coward, the sophomore point guard. And Nathan Bunton, his high school teammate, makes the shot in the lane. They played together at Murray Wright High School in Detroit. And Derrick Chievous is the senior, the All-American from New York, averaging over 22 points a game. Mike Sambodi, Nathan Bunton, Lee Coward, and Byron Irvin, a transfer from Arkansas.
Jimmy, you can see how young that ball club is. Only only Chievous the senior.
Todd.
You talk about another one of those freshman backcourt lineups with James playing in the backcourt with Stacey Augmon. He all
early, and look out, here goes Lee Coward. Goaltending.
Good timing by Patio. I think probably the only thing, and you can see the record that Tark has in here, the only thing that Stacy does not have is the outside shot at the present time, but he's a great all-around player.
Georgetown in overtime. That year, the Hoyas went on to win the national championship. Cal Irvine, and earlier this season, year with Norman Richardson, then transferred.
Last year and sitting out, had an opportunity to play against the Missouri club that put a damper on what was a great season, losing to Xavier.
Great move by Chievous. He has 6 points.
Every time he scores.
Irvin's back at the line now. 6'5" junior out of Chicago. Brother Michael, who is 12, was named the top 6th grade basketball player in the country last year by Sports Illustrated.
I think that's
on the break. It's back out to Smith, and the freshman hits.
Nice touch. And you know what? I've really been impressed. Fouls, which is really a tremendous talent.
Sambodi on the follow after the missed free throw by Chievous, and he went right around his defender. Chievous double team.
That's why he's so tough on the inside. He just creates plays.
Lee Coward with the rebound, snaps it to Chievous. Off the glass, and 11 points for the Band-Aid man.
Chievous having a very good game. And great outlet pass.
Myron Irvin traveling. Chievous just snapped that outlet pass to Irvin, who took it hard. Bodie to
nice.
Smith to Chievous. Great passing. Gary Leonard.
You can see that the
Lee Coward into Leonard. Back to Sambodi.
Beautiful.
Very patient Missouri team on that position. 4:45 left in the first half. Chievous takes it all the way. 13 for Chievous.
I mentioned Todd.
Norm Stewart's team shooting a 1-and-1. He's only a 40% free throw shooter.
Drilled that one. You know, Jim, another chance to get back there and set up.
And a television timeout as Missouri leads by 13.
Saying he's all right. He's ready to go.
Chievous and Patio. A lot of the pregame buildup between these two. Chievous up with the loose ball.
Oh, good steal.
Leonard on the follow.
I think Leonard's going to be a key in this game, Jim, because against that zone,
he's only a sophomore.
Down to 10 seconds now. They've got to get something up.
Irvin will take it, and it's a 3. Irvin with 8, and Missouri now with a 5th. Missouri right now in the Big 8. Let's take a look at that, Billy. Oklahoma leading right now. Kansas State in second. Missouri is third. A difference on the shot clock from the game clock. Doug Smith.
Missouri is playing a picture-perfect ball game. Great defense, excellent shot selection. They fouled a little bit on the play, and of course that left Patio wide open.
Irvin misfires at the buzzer, and the first half has come to a close. With the score, Missouri 44, UNLV 32. Jim Lampley coming up with the college basketball report after this message. And Tigers leading UNLV at halftime, 44-32. This is the 4th game in 8 days for the Tigers, but they were certainly the freshest bunch. Back out to Coward. Baseline jumper goes for Derrick Chievous, who now has 15. Irvin, a transfer from Arkansas. Hits both free throws.
A little tired coming back down the court.
Bunton from the free throw line.
The reason Bunton was wide open last night and hit the floor.
Favo no good.
Chievous kept it alive again.
He's got it and scores. Chievous with 17.
Back to the zone defense. Vegas changing.
Bounce pass to Smith. Slam dunk. Great pass by Chievous.
He really came and met the ball well there.
Underneath the Bunton. Smith will fire from 15.
Shows a little range on that jump shot for the top freshman in the court. Straight man-to-man now by Vegas.
Chievous challenges Patio and scores. He's got that look in his points. 7 rebounds and 6 assists.
Missouri, a very good team. The type of team you'd want to be behind going down the wire. Vegas making a good run here. Thinks he's back playing against the Soviet Union.
Pete James for 3. Taking the lead, and CBS Sports Tank as the Rebels have the lead. Chievous will take it one-on-one over Augman and score it.
Off the court at the end of the first half. This is as good a comeback against a solid team as you'll see. Chievous really doing the job, keeping his ball club in the game here. And I don't.
Chievous in the last 6 games has averaged 29 a game. And he's on his way right now.
And he's the kind of player that's going to want to slash offensively. He's the kind of guy you can draw the charge on. Bunton inside. Robinson almost got a piece of that one.
Bunton follows and scores.
Goes to show you the versatility of Augman defensively. Going strictly inside with this lineup.
Irvin. The feed from Bunton cuts the lead to Short.
Good pass.
Irvin's out in front. Missouri's in the lead now, 70-69.
Samboni really doing it. That stays in that man-to-man defense, and when you watch him practice, you know why they're so good at it.
Great move by Nathan Bunton. He has 11. Howard going right back on him. Nice head fake.
Same play, just the other end of the floor.
He got Bass Knight to leave his feet. Yeah, it's back to one.
Technical.
Chievous will take it. Rejected. Score it. Goaltender. Missouri in front.
There's Patio.
Working the other side instead. Patio in the lane on the follow. And Vegas, UNLV leads. By Byron Irvin of Missouri, who goes hard to the glass and scores.
Super drive.
Bartlett 16 and 5 overall.
Joe Harrington doing a fine job at Long Beach. So conference is doing very well, not only for themselves, but
Chievous back out to Bunton, who will take the shot. Rebound underneath. This may be number 5 on Chievous.
Well, he tried to clear out the way, commits his 5th. Samboni will have to come back in for him. He played a terrific ball game.
He pushed off, going for the offensive rebound, and he sits down with 26 points.
And there's a credit to the game he's played. You notice that Booby James went over and gave him a good hand slap.
Jarvis Bass Knight 1 of 3 today from the line. Gets the roll on the front end of the 1-1.
Good follow through by Jarvis on that play.
Tigers have 1 timeout left. 2 for the running Rebels.
Put a little lean in that one. Didn't stay with it, but got
game for Richard Robinson. Irvin could get his team the lead.
Much better follow through on that one. Stayed right with it.
Money on the shot clock. Still working it around. James forces.
Nothing there.
A real force.
There's Samboni again with another big rebound. That 3-point differential. And if I were Vegas, I would start trying to get that ball in Stacey Augman's hand and go ahead and penetrate a little bit and look to throw it back out for Patio for the 3-point shot. I'd maybe try to take the ball out of Booby James's hands a little bit. He's been trying to do too much one-and-one.
Lee Coward.
He's screaming pressure, pressure, pressure.
Billy, he has made now 23 straight free throws.
His school record's 28, is that correct?
That's right.
And look at he's talking, he's confident. Let's get the roll.
That stops the streak. And a 2-point basket will tie it. Bass Knight trying to post up. Russell looking around.
Stacey Augmon is buried down the low post. James trying to do it all by himself. I thought that was a problem.
Rebound, Doug Smith. Vegas is going to have to foul here.
Not enough time. They can't find Coward.
Missouri keeps it away and pulls off the victory on the road. Only the 4th time UNLV has lost here at the Thomas & Mack Center. I was really surprised by that shot selection. We'll continue with some post-game thoughts in just a moment.
Missouri pulls it off, winning at Las Vegas, 81-79. What about the shot selection here by the Running Rebels, Billy?
Well, I thought that Boobie James had tried too hard in the last part of this ball game to take things in his own hands, and that's really not the shot you want at all. They had plenty of time on the clock, 12 seconds, trying to go for a 3. Stacey Augmon never touched it, and he was the key guy.
The Chevy players of the game, Derrick Chievous for Missouri, 26 points. Stacey Augmon for UNLV, 12 points off in the second half. But checking the amount of one.
I really felt that our guys really wanted the ball game, and that's a good sign. At this point in the season, it's an excellent sign for our team.
I thought it was going to be a game that was going to go right to the wire like this. I really did. You know, obviously I was hoping we'd be on top when it ended, but it was a great ball game.
2 straight Big 8 victories. Mizzou traveled to Las Vegas on a roll to take on the 7th-ranked Running Rebels. One of the nation's toughest teams to beat at home, UNLV was hoping for a blowout, but the Tigers had some victory.
Feels great, especially being a great team like UNLV in the Shark Tank. I think with us playing on the road like this, going into the NCAAs, a lot of the games will be on the road, and hopefully we can look back on this and know that we can play good away from the Hearns building.
We came down here to play these guys as tough as we possibly could, and that's what we did. We didn't come down here figuring that they was going to blow us out. We just wanted to come down here and play hard to let people know that we are a top caliber team.
And back home in Columbia, Tiger fans welcomed home their heroes.
From Hearns Center in Columbia, Missouri, it's the Kansas Jayhawks and the Missouri Tigers. In Columbia, and we haven't even started the ball game yet. It's Kansas and Missouri. That good of a year.
Well, Danny Manning on Wednesday night became the all-time Big 8 leader, scoring 2,661 points as he passed Wayman Tisdale. Now, Tisdale did it in 3 years, so he is the guy that the Missouri Tigers will go to in the clutch. He really hurt himself early in the eyes of the NBA scouts, but he has played exceptionally well as of late.
One thing about Chievous right now would appear to not have an opportunity to win its own country.
Well, Danny's playing better than ever. Very hard to get him. Force him outside to shoot the ball from the perimeter, give him nothing easy inside.
Chievous for 3. So the battle is on.
Great.
Everybody's here.
And everybody was here about an hour and a half before the game, too.
Tie game at 4. Bunton is up in the corner for the shot. That is not good. It will not go down for Byron Irvin. And now Manning is all alone.
But Danny Manning can do so many things, and one of his outstanding traits, he can guard as well.
Chievous beating underneath, Sambodi. Chievous clears it out, 3-on-1. Chievous will take it. 5 points for Chievous. Utah State originally played football and basketball. Time score is given around the country. Nobody's going to believe it. Please, Norm Stewart very nicely. In fact, just even a 2-pointer. There's a 3-point try, and there it is. Coward.
Well, maybe that'll get him going. Coward has hit several threes.
Playing a very tight man right now. Let's see what Leonard can do on the turnaround. That 5-foot one now.
Good job by Gary Leonard. He just backed Danny.
McIntyre spins it into Leonard. His shot will go jammed in, however, by Smith. Doug Smith, the 6'10 freshman.
We said earlier when they put Smith and Bunton.
Smith, a complete player, and will be a very good one. Bunton.
Murray's got to think about getting a timeout now. They've closed to 11 points, and he will.
You hit it right on the nose. Kansas takes a timeout with 7:11 by Leonard. McIntyre down the floor with Bunton. McIntyre lays it up and gets it down. And Richard hits the deck. trying to draw the foul.
Good job by John McIntyre to draw a call, then to get Danny Manning to sit down for the remainder of the half.
On the drive, Brennan scores down the baseline. That's five. Got to be in play. Got it. 3:45. First half, wouldn't he? With 2 fouls?
Absolutely, unless he's scoring.
That's Doug Smith. 4 points for Smith. 4 seconds left. Byron Irvin for 3. And Leonard jams it home.
Woo. That's the problem when Danny Manning is out of the basketball.
Missouri record. 1 out of 2. He has 6 for Derrick. And that's his number 7.
Missouri Danny Manning, but they've done it with more intensity on the defensive end and a better shot selection.
Chievous, 2 out of 2. Trying to get that last bucket. 4 seconds. More time than he thought. Now it's down to 1 second, and there's the end of the first half. Chievous spun. It looked like he was trying to throw the ball the length of the floor to get a bucket, but he had about 4 seconds left. And so we're at halftime. The Kansas Jayhawks lead the Missouri Tigers 38-29 in Columbia.
Well, Norm, you can play this way and get away with it. This team has averaged over 87 points per game with 18-20 left in the ball game over the Jayhawks. And also to get people in foul trouble. Kansas is not a deep club.
Now McIntyre will be even in the second half, and Kansas will be back to a 9-point lead, and that's the case.
Ball down inside to create the foul troubles. There you go.
Alley-oop to Leonard. Yes. Norm Stewart is gone with this big guy. The 7-footer, he really gives him muscle.
But Kansas is
Howard. Now they try to go alley-oop, and Smith does not get it. And a follow is down. It goes down by Leonard, and we've got a whistle under the basket.
Well, is this Manning?
Basket is good.
If this is Danny Manning, but again, Missouri is bigger. They're able to throw the basketball over. Watch Leonard come over the top right here for the tip. And again, Leonard there. Oh, that could have been called easily on Danny Manning. That would have been his score.
Gary Leonard hits a free throw, and he has 12 points. Smith clears it out to Coward. Coward stopping, popping.
Larry Brown up right now and telling his kids to slow down. It's not going to be that easy with a crowd like this, and the Missouri Tigers very...
No shot available because of the good defense. Coward from the outside for 3.
Good patience in the offensive end by Missouri. They spot the open man. Kansas running the second half.
It is 51-43. The shot will not go down. Tipped in. Derrick Chievous, 10 for him.
In the second half.
52-45, and it is now 2 points closer as Chievous has 12, and it's 52-47. Missouri steals. Coward for 3. The crowd takes over. The shot clock. Harris pushing it up there, will not go, goes after his own board. It is out of bounds to Missouri. Now the Tigers can tie the game. Or take a lead. Almost, but not quite. Chievous.
13-1, it further enhances their chances of pounding the basketball inside. I really think Kansas has got to think about the possibility in a very short period of time.
Lots of big rebounds. Manning to the inside, hooks it in. 32 points for Manning.
Nice little spin move.
14 points for Chievous. Played sparingly in the first half. The Tigers have won 21 in a row on this floor. Chievous coaxing that one in. But how about the Jayhawks on their home floor? Wow. 56-54. Big 8 basketball to follow. Leonard put his feet on the floor. Jacked it anyway. I didn't know if he was going to be able to respond after hitting the deck with the feet.
Gary Leonard.
Well, on the Missouri side, Derrick Chievous on the right, Lee Coward on the left. They've got to handle that full court pressure of Oklahoma's, and 2, they got to stop those Sooner second chance points.
Your keys with video support. Boy, you just have more surprises, Conley. The opening tip is controlled to Oklahoma. Good from Lawton, Oklahoma.
Tim, you know, you look...
Outstanding number. Nice pass over the middle between Sandbody and Church.
Both clubs to be in the 80s, 90s, possibly even into three figures, six figures for both teams.
For Smith, who has great offensive ability. Church follows. Came in about a minute and a half deep. Sandbody to Church. 6 for Greg Church. Point, yeah. Good pass again, this time Church to Chievous. Chievous with the numbers on his side. Sandbody with the follow.
Oh, I tell you what, apparently what they do.
Sandbody. Boy, did he find the seam. Church down on the blocks. Feeds to Doug Smith.
How about the pass by Church into Smith? Both of them have gotten back on defense so quickly. I think it's been difficult for them to set up their break. The good transition game that they're...
Difficult period, the first 10 minutes of play. Oklahoma's really not had any. And there's another putback hoop by Missouri. Gary.
Vince, what is the zone going to give him?
Chievous.
Going to get Chievous 3. That's what it's going to give him.
And it's 21-6. Sandbody again.
You got it again. Found by Sandbody. Mike Sandbody. Good, strong power move. Good pump fake. He got Stacey King to bump him. He stuck it back in the basket. Well, it's got to be a little frustrating for Oklahoma right now. A club that really is used to scoring a lot of points only had 19 points. We played almost 14 minutes of bad.
Coward is wide open. 3. Lee Coward gets the tray, and it's 27-21.
Again, Oklahoma stays with that zone defense. Chievous is open.
He popped back out, didn't he? For 3. End of that. And a beauty from Lee Coward for 3.
Good ball efficiency here the last couple of trips.
Chievous, that's his 5. Chievous has 11. Sandbody feeds back, and Irvin puts it down. Byron Irvin, 37-33.
You're looking at 30-point differential there.
37-34. Chievous at the buzzer. Yeah! Well, you get a quick laceration from the Band-Aid man to close out half number 1 if you're from Norman. The Antlers love it.
Let's watch it. There was 5 seconds left. You can see it in the corner. 2, 1. He lets it go. Nothing but net. Bingo. Watch it again. 3, 2. Now watch it. He's going to let it go. That's from about 30 feet. Derrick Chievous. All-time Missouri leading scorer.
40-34 our score.
3 by the Band-Aid man at the buzzer. They're up.
Distinguished career at the University of Missouri. He's the school's all-time leading scorer. But while basketball is a means to an NBA career for the 6'7" forward, it's his personality which separates Chievous from most. Take the nickname Band-Aid, for example. He always wears one somewhere on his body, and has since he was cut in a game during his junior high days growing up in New York City. But it's not just Band-Aids that make Chievous a unique individual.
He's in his own little world, but he's still down to earth. He doesn't have the big head, as they say. But he's just a different person. He likes to be himself. I've been getting publicity all my life, but it's different here at the University of Missouri because I'm coming in a program where they had great superstars. So I'm just trying to fit in the mold.
The New York native has fit right into a Midwestern campus lifestyle.
Well, it seems like in the first stages you just say, hey, maybe I might graduate, maybe I might not. But when you get to that stage where you're just, hey, I'm like 17, 16 hours away, you start to count your hours. You start to really focus on what kind of class you have to take, and don't take no numbnut type of classes that will set you back and make you have to come back to class.
He's going to graduate on time. He promised his mother he was going to do that. He's a fun-loving kid. He loves to play basketball. I'd say that's a pretty good person.
Relations between the dean of Big 8 coaches and his star haven't always been smooth, But there is mutual respect.
He can improve. He knows that, and as a coach and his teacher, I want him to do that. And I think he's made better strides this year. He's working harder in practice.
Frustration's not in my vocabulary, so I just feel it's adjustment. It's a lot of things that I need to learn from him that he's taught me. Basically maturing and consistency. Hi, I'm Derrick Chievous, and welcome to Band-Aid's Court. Today we're here at lovely downtown...
Chievous even hosts a segment on Coach Stewart's weekly television show.
It's the greatest thing in the world, television. I feel that it's a standpoint where my mom gets to see me just do it all, off and on the court, you know, so I can say, "Hi, Mom, how you doing?"
His fun-loving nature aside, Chievous thrives on competition.
If we win, then I could describe like, oh, it's a great emotion. If we lose, it's like, damn.
At this point, they're not losing. 14 points and 9 rebounds from Derrick Chievous, the Band-Aid man, including the three-pointer at the buzzer.
And now they've got Seeger in the middle of it. Blaylock on one side, Grace on the other.
Smith. Inside three-point range. Both were in the general area. Lynn Hardy back into the game. And Doug Smith connects from the baseline. The Sandbody. Chievous with one hand. With the ball.
Smith come from nowhere to get the ball and put it back in. You talk about future stars of the Big Eight.
Looking down low, and Smith loses it, but Chievous finds it.
Well, once in a while, a squirrel will find an acorn, right?
Hardy quickly pushing it up to Smith. Off balance, counted, and the foul.
And the freshman, watching, take it up. There's a foul committed right there by Ricky Grace. You talk about strength. You talk about power.
He's down in Jacksonville. Doug Smith from McKenzie High School has his motor.
Find somebody up the court, 35, 40-foot pass. They'll throw it.
Sandbody.
Great pass by Smith. The man from Detroit is operating on all pistons right now.
That's no Etzel. Sports Center shortly thereafter, but we've got a lot of activity remaining here at the Hearn Center. And Smith has been much of the activity here in this team. Tells you just how well they've recruited the last year or so, and there's Sandbody, the lone Missourian. College. Chievous. 61-53.
I guess he wants a string.
Chievous with a 3-on-2 to Church. Count it. Goaltending against the Sooners.
I talked about Chievous' offensive ability to score. How about that pass to the left side?
Chievous. Doug Smith follows.
Short game. Look at Chievous.
Chievous takes advantage of the spacing and put on. Derrick Chievous.
That young man's way, Derrick Chievous. Derrick Chievous and Doug Smith have led these Tigers in the second half. He's had an absolutely terrific game.
More importantly, this would be his 6th. Leonard. There's a foul inside, away from the ball. They'll count the hoop. And that's the 4th foul.
Homa taking it inside. Look at Leonard with this move. Good fake right there. Puts it up. There's the pushing foul. Stacey King gets the foul, and Leonard goes to the line. On defense, they got Sandbody out there handling the ball, who now gives it to Hardy.
Chievous. All night long for the Band-Aid man.
Look at patience by Missouri. Look at Church.
Wide the lane, and they had to make their games entertaining as well as fruitful in the W column to get fans to show up.
That's the way he does it. He just simply gets good players. He gives them a system, teaches them how to play, and they come out and just play.
It's amazing how the critics have gone quiet on Tubbs. Hearn Center in Columbia, Missouri. Amazing Grace for 3.
I mean, they're doing it with threes. They're coming back with a 3-point.
The vital possession coming back for the Tigers here at home. Got the ball in position to shoot. for Chievous. Derrick gets it right on the spot. 77-70.
Big play inside defensively by Sandbody. Look at Chievous. Yes, and the foul. Your money player's got to produce when it gets down to the moment you have to have him. Derrick Chievous, 2 times in a row. Second time right here. Look at him make this move inside. That's the way you do it. When you're Missouri's all-time leading scorer, you're supposed to get the ball in the final 3 minutes of the game.
And what was a 1-point lead has ballooned to 6 for Missouri. Blaylock for 3. Well, the mathematics are on the side of Oklahoma. 4-3. Church. And Smith keeps it alive. Finally knocked through by Doug Smith.
How about the rebounding by the Tigers?
Key, and Missouri had them here, Larry.
See, I'm watching Missouri get up on the backboard here. Count the number of rebounds now. There's 1 attempt, 2, 3, 4, and it goes in. Yep. That's the way you do it. You just stay after it. Missouri doing a great job.
14 left. How they play defensively on this possession of Key, and look at the rebounding edge.
I agree.
Needs no theatrics here. Just consistency at the line.
In the country.
31 for Derrick Chievous. 84-79. Mookie Blaylock has it. And Mullins is open for 3.
Yeah!
Timeout, Oklahoma. 20 seconds left. 2. And again, Missouri really can't key on anyone defensively because Oklahoma can bomb away with anyone.
They can win with a 3.
Grace. There's a foul with 4 seconds left. Hardy picks it up, and it's 1-1 with 4 seconds left. Foul. Timeout called by Oklahoma with 4 seconds left. We may be here for a while.
Mike and Dick will go out and get a cup of coffee and sit down and watch a good game. Oklahoma and Missouri.
Chievous.
Here he goes.
He's got it all the way. The Band-Aid man can't convert. Oh, and was he in position? 31 points tonight. All he wanted was another deuce, but he couldn't get it. We'll be back with the overtime from Columbia. Our score as we head to the overtime period.
Have to get them back in it. I think the momentum really lies with Oklahoma right now.
And Stacey King played the last 11. Fans wanted a foul. Chievous wants to hoop.
We'd like to have that one. 4 seconds left in the second half.
Chievous baseline. Smith followed him. And a foul against Grant. Count it.
Watch the freshman again from Detroit. Good position in there, lays it up, and he gets a little bit of a push from Harvey Grant.
Officials saw it hanging in double figures. Not to mention Nathan Warner over there. Here goes King. King tying it at 88.
Well, he is a good baseline player, Tim. He is going to be some clutch.
Sandbody is free. Motor City. 21 for Doug Smith. King. The iron untimed, and Chievous with the rebound and the foul on Grant.
A great second half. Watch him follow it up here. Damn City. Yeah. Doug Smith has had a great match.
31 and 16. 32 and 16. Another's on his left shin.
That's a big one. Now they've got to have 2 possessions. Oklahoma does to win.
And it's a 3-point game. Blaylock draws Oklahoma to within 2. Timeout Sooners. They have 1 remaining in this overtime.
This is really big. They got a chance. Oklahoma could tie it. They'll line up around the three-point line. Grace is fouled. Oh, he almost got it. Lee Coward committing the foul. He was airborne, and Ricky Grace came so. Lost out of bounds, but a foul on King, his fifth. Greg Church was in position. Won't try, and he lost it. But there was a foul committed by Mullins. 7 seconds left. Sandbody on. As proven. Here it is. They can tie. Ricky Grace. An air ball off the buzzer. Missouri wins. A much-needed win for that man, Stormin' Norman Stewart. Will be a happy camper tonight. He may have just sewn up an at-large bid with a win over 4th-ranked Oklahoma. 93-90 in overtime. North Carolina State and Maryland are coming up, but right now, let's go to Bob Lee in the studio.
Okay.
A new home was being planned for Wildcat basketball. That new home was destined to be named after Mike Ahern, who preached the need for the new field house to Kansas State faithful. When finished in 1950, Ahern Fieldhouse was a gem of a gem with a brilliant luster. Today, the luster has not faded. The gem remains of the highest quality. But a new home for Kansas State basketball is rising from the rolling hills of eastern Kansas. Fred Bramlage Coliseum is the new home of Wildcat basketball, but not until after today. Today, a rival of 76 years has come to meet the Kansas State Wildcats. Big 8.
Well, Missouri got a big win at home against Oklahoma their last time out. Well, that was a tremendous win for them over at Columbia. They've been a solid ball club all year. They're deep in talent. They've had some injuries, but they're putting it all together now.
What we're going to see here today, two good here over in Silver Lake, Kansas. Of course, played here, two-time All-Big 8 Player of the Year. Played on Big 8 champions, and now back at his alma mater, 40 miles from his birthplace, coaching a team that he has always loved. And we are set to play basketball. Ron Spittler's going to put it in the air, and the deal is on in Manhattan, and Missouri comes up with a tip. Mike Sandbody with the basketball very quickly to Coward. Chievous on the wing, a lob inside, and up with it to score goes Greg Church, and the first 2 points of the ball game belong to Mizzou. The Tigers on the move. Lee Coward with the basketball. Kansas State in the zone. Sandbody to Chievous for 3. It's good. And the Tigers are off to a quick start in Ahern today.
Chievous,
nothing Mizzou.
Chievous 13 out of 25 for three-point run.
One of the reasons was the play of his senior All-American, Derrick Chievous, as he capped 29 points. And they face the Oklahoma Sooners, coached by All-Big 8 Coach of the Year, Billy Tubbs, and he'll need a big game from Ricky Grace, who leads the Big 8 in assists and three-point field goals made. It's Missouri and Oklahoma in Kansas from Kansas City's Kemper Arena. The Missouri Tigers meet the Oklahoma Sooners. Far it has all gone according to plan, as the top 4 seeds have advanced to the semifinals of the Big 8 postseason tournament, and we've got 2 dandy games on tap for you this afternoon. I'm Ron Thulin. Welcome to a sold-out Kemper Arena in Kansas.
Number 3, Derrick Chievous. At forward, a 6'8 junior from Palmyra, Missouri, number 33, Greg Church. At center, a 6'10 freshman from Detroit, Michigan, number 34, Doug Smith. At guard, a 6'1 sophomore from Detroit, Michigan, number 4, Lee Coward. Junior from Washington, Missouri, number 42, Mike Sandbody. For the Oklahoma Sooners, at forward, a 6'8 senior from Sparta, Georgia, number 25, Harvey Grant. At forward, a 6'5 senior from
San Bernardino, California, number 44, Dave Seeger. At center, Oklahoma, number 33, Stacey King. At guard, a 6-foot junior from Garland, Texas, number 10, Mookie Blaylock. And at guard, a 6'1" senior from Dallas, Texas, number 14, Ricky Gray.
First game, semifinal round. Later today, Kansas State. Oklahoma controls the tip, and Grace puts Oklahoma on the board in just a matter of 6 seconds. Sooners lead.
Sam Bodie's in the lineup in place of Byron Irvin. Sam Bodie, the last time out, had 10 rebounds in the game against Oklahoma. Very good defensive player.
And Derrick Chievous, who had, I think Smith took an extra step, but he bangs in there.
Good move by
Church handling the inbound. Missouri down by 1 of the early going, and Church trying to put Missouri into the lead and does. Nice give and go. Clears it across down to Chievous. Chievous against Seeger on the drive, and it will not go. And a tip try is good by Smith. Doug Smith. Chievous and Seeger has him defensively. Ball is tipped away from Church. Seeger tried to grab it. Church gets it to Irwin for a wide open layup. 9 seconds to go in the first half. Smith looks, jumps, pumps, and hits.
Being able to get it to go down anyway.
Irvin to Church. Church stopped for the jumper against Seeger. 6 points for Church.
Good job of breaking the press, and when you're your favor, 2-on-1 that time. Church with the right thing, taking it right to the basket.
Seeger going for 3. Boy, he can kill you from out there. That's his second 3-point.
As Missouri.
Doug Smith, the freshman from Detroit at 6'10", 64% free throw shooter, is 1 out of 2. That gives him 7 points fouls against Oklahoma. We have 14:22 to go in the first half. Give and go, Irvin. It's his second field goal. 2-point lead, Oklahoma. From the outside, Grace for 3. Boy, it does take Oklahoma long to get those.
Really making Missouri work hard just to get the basketball down to the scoring range.
Chievous diving for his second shot and his first basket. So it's 20. Will move up the floor with 12:43 to go in the first half. Oklahoma leading by 6. To the inside to Chievous against King, and it goes in for Chievous.
That's great body control. Chievous inside, able to get. What he has to do today is really control the tempo. It will be up to Coward, and should Lynn Hardy get in the basketball game to make sure the Missouri has to take care of the basketball for the Tigers.
That's his book yesterday. Coward has played outstanding ball for the last 8 or 9 games. In fact, he's been a good performer all year long. The ball. Blaylock for 3.
Got to think about a timeout. Norm Stewart now. His club has gone down by 9 points and not doing a good job against the pressure defense.
Oklahoma keeping the pressure on as Missouri gets that ball. They're still not in the front court, and now the count is on. And finally, Chievous and Hardy of Missouri. Baseline feed. Church reverse layup scoring for the Tigers. Greg Church with us. We look at that big lead now for Oklahoma. Missouri has out-rebounded Oklahoma, but the Sooners have the lead as Leonard picks up a pair now for Missouri. Here is Seeger on the follow. It goes down.
Dave Seeger, 30 seconds on the shot clock, and then find somebody with an open shot.
Leonard turns, hooks it in. Gary Leonard with 4. 8 minutes, 6 seconds.
By the Tigers, and an excellent pass by King on the baseline back to Harvey Grant.
Chievous close range. 6 points for him. And Grant has gone to the bench for a little rest as we look at those blocked shots. And the blocked shots are playing a role today as Irvin is on the free throw line, connects on number 1.
They're going to have a lot of blocks if Missouri continues to take the basketball right into their face.
So Irvin hits them both. He has 6 for the game. Tony Moore, the finger was pointed at the bench, and then the technical was called, and Smith hits the free throw. Irvin. And there's a reason for that. He's an outstanding shooter, and he drops it in for that scrambling defense. Byron Irvin trying to work to the inside to Hardy, and it goes in for Hardy.
Nice job getting the basketball inside to a guy that really doesn't take it inside too many times.
So Harvey Grant and Stacey King have been the big scorers for Oklahoma, and somehow Irvin got that ball up and in. outstanding under the coaching of Billy Tubbs. Hardy with puts it forward. His pocket is picked. Missouri a 3-on-2 bust out. Hardy down the middle and scores.
Good inside drive by Lynn Hardy. The crossover dribble avoids Grace. Seeger can't get there.
Mullins looks to the inside. Gets it right back for the three-point effort. That's what we're talking about. Terrence Mullins, a pure shooter.
That's a good double down by Missouri. Unfortunately, when he kicked the ball back outside the Mullins, he knocked it down.
After it. Now Smith cross-courts it to Hardy. They go to the inside, and Church comes up with the bucket.
Lynn Hardy has kept Missouri in this basketball game with his leadership.
More from Detroit. Missouri gets one, and it is now 57-46, a 9-point lead for Oklahoma. The shot clock, 7 seconds left to go. Somebody's got to take the shot. It's Martin, and it is going to be out of bounds as the first half comes to an end. And at halftime, the Oklahoma Sooners lead the Missouri Tigers by a score of 57-46. Well, Dave Logan, your analysis of the first half here.
Well, Missouri is fortunate, I think, to be on
offensive displays by Harvey Grant with 15 points unofficially on our book. Stacey King has 12 for Oklahoma. Doug Smith, Greg Church, and hurt Missouri today. And of course, you have to give Oklahoma credit for creating them, Dave.
Well, there are so many ways the Sooners can beat you. You can come out, and if you don't do a lot of very good things, you're not going to be in the basketball game. If you turn the ball over too many times, you lose.
Church has contributed mightily for Missouri today, but he's a good ball player.
He's a very good player, good defensive player, and you add 10 points. That's got to be a bonus. Derrick Chievous, you can see his name in the white. He has got to pick it up.
Slide. Chievous making his move in the alley underneath the Church, and Church the fake and the shot, and down it goes. 12 points. Seeger has him defensively. Chievous in the matchup against Grant over the top of Grant. Rebound on the offensive board by Church. It will not go. And finally another effort by Urban. It won't go either, and Chievous gets it down. 8 points for Chievous. And again, the
Missouri, good overplay by Greg Church.
And down they come on a 2-on-1 as it is now, and Urban hits the layup. 7-point lead now for Oklahoma.
That was off.
And so he joins the Oklahoma swimming team. Chievous again. And 8 points in the half for Missouri. Front by 10. Sambodi in the lane working. Lays it off to the left side for Byron. But underneath the Church, nice movement.
Nice pass, and that's the kind of...
3 fouls on Blaylock. .5. Got them both. And we have a timeout here at Kemper Arena. Kicks it out front to Hardy, and Sambodi drives the left side for the layup. And he's got the body to do it.
Somebody went asleep for the...
Flipped out. Here comes Coward. Oklahoma back with 2 men on defense. Coward to Chievous. Chievous hooks it in. 12 points for Derrick Chievous. And a whistle also.
Stacey King's going to get the foul pass. Chievous has got King almost underneath the basket. Tough to see from that angle what King wants.
Great second half by King. 8 points in this one, and Chievous misses a layup, trying to get it back, and Oklahoma has the ball, but King turns it over, coming over the side.
Clock.
King from the reverse side drops it in and will go for a 3-point play.
Playing pretty good defense, but you can't play a guy like Stacey King unless you do get the backside help.
We have had a technical foul called on the Missouri bench. Norm Stewart hit with a technical foul specialist. Down the lane, King blocked, but drops back to take the shot and connects, and he has 26. And Oklahoma building the lead now to less than 12 and a half minutes to go now in the game as Coward tries to come down the baseline, stops for the shot, and you see the result. And a foul is called also.
Everybody's sitting on their hands at Kemper.
Coward for 3. That'll help. 5 points in this half for Coward.
A big force for the Missouri Tigers. The 7-footer, he's got decent shooting ability. They certainly need his rebounding help.
And Gary Leonard, the 7'1" junior from Belleville, Illinois. Just across the river from St. Louis. Oklahoma's biggest lead of the day, 16 here in the second half, and Chievous going for three. So Chievous with 15 now for the Tigers. Now the crowd, not this time. Leonard clears it. Fast break, Missouri. Hardy, 3-on-2. Middleman, right lane feed. Smith scores.
Again, Lynn Hardy doing a good job handling the back.
His second leading scorer for the Tigers, but this is Hardy who's on the free throw line, getting number one. 10-point lead for Oklahoma. 9-point lead for Oklahoma. So the 16 rebounds, and here they come. Irvin, Chievous, working, shooting, hitting. Foul is called in Oklahoma. Basket is...
Oh, this basket can't count. No way.
Good. Good. Chievous gets the first free throw.
Ball game. He's done it with good defensive play. Gary Leonard's been tough in the middle, and Lynn Hardy really has been outstanding in the point.
80 for the long one. Air ball taken by Missouri. They've got a 4-on-1.
Middle.
Irvin to the middle. Chievous, the jammer.
Nice pass by Irvin. Chievous wanted the basketball a little bit sooner. Irvin took it to the paint, dished it off the Chievous. Lynn Hardy stepped underneath. Toughest call an official has to make is the block charge. It was Doug Smith who stepped underneath.
Doug Smith, 64% free throw shooter. He has gone to the zone. You can see what's happened on that last graphic. Seeger for three. He's the ideal.
This Tiger challenge. We'll see if Missouri can come back. Done a good job of getting the basketball inside. This man's been exceptional.
Chievous gets a three-pointer. 22 points for Derrick Chievous.
Shot by Hardy, slowing the pace down, bringing the basketball back outside.
Doug Smith, and jammed in by Leonard. Doug Smith, and jammed in by Leonard. A 4-point lead for Oklahoma, 90-86. Irvin, they look to the inside. Three-point shot taken, and it's good. Lynn Hardy. 92-89, Oklahoma. 5:28 to the outside. They swing it around the perimeter. Irvin for a three-pointer. It's going to be an air ball, but a follow is good. Doug Smith steps in there to get a pair for Missouri.
Tigers have bounced back in this with some good three-point shooting, but they...
Oklahoma with a three-point lead in Missouri with the ball. Played later today. And then the championship game. Chievous for three is going to be short of the mark, and Seeger pulls the ball away. Oklahoma over most of these stations, KU, K-State, and the championship game tomorrow. Leonard banks it in.
Another great pass by Lynn Hardy in the penetration. And now Missouri's got to be more active.
Shot clock. The shot out of the corner by Blaylock for three. And Leonard rebounds it. Here come the Tigers on a fast break. Irwin laying it up there. Down it goes. And he is fouled on the play.
The bucket's got to count in this situation.
Leading 97-95 as Missouri gets a two-pointer from Irvin, and he'll go for a three-point play.
That's very close. Both officials right on top of it. Point to Grace. Let's see if Grace is there and set. That's very close to an offensive foul. That's, again, the toughest call for any official, the block charge call. Nobody can give any fouls, and should there be a jump ball, Oklahoma will have possession.
Byron Irvin brings Missouri to within one. Oklahoma leading at 97-96, 47 seconds left to play in this semifinal game. Stop clock of the game clock. Inside, King, and he banks it in, and a basket is good, and a foul is called on Nathan Bunted of Missouri. King with 34 points.
Just physically not strong enough to handle a guy like Stacey King down the blocks.
4-point lead OU. 31 seconds remaining. Missouri's got to get down the floor in a hurry and get that ball up in the air.
And now Oklahoma's back to the man-to-man.
Ball scrambled. Chievous picks it up. Baseline shot in the air. Will not go. Chievous working again. Puts it up there, and a foul is called. And the foul is on Grant Sandbody. He has come back in for Missouri. Outstanding game for Harvey Grant with 24 points.
Don Stewart's got
Kansas State and LSU this year. Chievous, two shots. Missouri, 97.
It's going to be interesting to watch the press now. Blaylock, the only true ball handler the Sooners have in the game.
And a blocking foul called on Missouri. And Blaylock will be going to the line. So the foul is on Lynn Hardy. That would be good at the other end of the floor. But Blaylock connects, and it's a 4-point lead for Oklahoma.
He's the Big 8 newcomer of the year, but he's a better offensive player than most people give him credit for.
Missouri has one timeout remaining. Free throw miss, 4-point lead for Oklahoma. Missouri with the ball, and it's 12 seconds and counting. And driving all the way, the layup is good, or is it good? It's an offensive foul, no basketball.
This is not a popular call, but I can tell you it is a very good call. Lynn Hardy trying to create something inside, and he runs clearly right. Now watch where Tony Martin, number 50, is. The contact comes before the ball is released, thus the basket's wiped off. It's a good call.
State, that game to follow, also on Raycom Sports and most of these stations. Blaylock. Second shot by Blaylock will bounce away. Chievous grabs it, 7 seconds. Chievous takes the ball down the floor, down the lane he comes, and shoots and scores. And that's the end of the ball game. Oklahoma beats Missouri by a score of 102-99. We may have a shot coming at the other end. There may have been a foul called, and now apparently it's wiped off. Apparently the foul was wiped off. The shot will not be made. Oklahoma advances to the championship game with a 102-99 win over the Missouri Tigers. And a tremendous ball. The 4th-ranked Sooners have defeated Missouri as Missouri made a...
Since then, they've lost to, Iowa, St. Joseph, Alabama, Birmingham, and, of course, last year, the big upset, they lose to Xavier, and it's going to be a tough test tomorrow. Chapel Hill, North Carolina, to play Rhode Island. It's defense. Chievous will be a key. He always is. Coach Norm Stewart knows that. Derrick remembers last year all too well. That loss against Xavier, but he says it's a different situation this year.
Well, last year, there was a tomorrow for me, and there was a new season on the horizon. I feel that this year there is no tomorrow for me, so I have to go out with my guns firing and hopefully come out with a victory.
Dean E. Smith Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. It's the Rhode Island Rams against the Missouri Tigers.
1988 NCAA Division I Basketball Championship. This first game matches the visiting Rhode Island Rams and the home team, the Missouri Tigers. Here are the starters for today's game. For Rhode Island, number 23, at forward, John Evans. For Missouri at forward, number 3, Derrick Chievous. For Rhode Island at forward, number 35, Mergen Singh. And for Missouri at forward, number 42, Mike Sanbodi. At center for Rhode Island, number 50, Bonzi Colson. For Missouri at center, number 33, Greg Church. And the guards for Rhode Island, number 10, Carlton Owens. At guard for Missouri, number 4, Lee Coward. At guard for the Rams of Rhode Island, number 22, Tom Garrick. And for Missouri at guard, number 21, Byron Irvin. The coach for Missouri is Norm Stewart. The Rhode Island coach is Tom Penders.
City, the Big 8 conference tournament was held in the Kemper Arena.
They say it is a 20-to-1 shot that Missouri will be in the Final Four and win it, and a 4,000-to-1 shot that Rhode Island will make it, and Missouri opens up with the 10.
And I'm still looking for the guys that picked the
guards for Rhode Island. This is the other. That's Owens in the middle, and it's 2-0 as Bonzi Colson gets his first 2. And Rhode Island goes out on top. Just 23 points a ball game.
They're clearing the floor for him.
Let him go, and it's 2-2. Derrick Chievous gets number 2. He is 50% from...
Chievous goes to the line, which he's very adept at drawing the foul. Evans has a migraine headache and 1 personal foul.
Chievous now has 3 points. That's exactly the total.
Light blue jersey and off balance and fell very hard on his shoulder.
Derrick Chievous, he continues to be the scoring threat for Missouri.
Bigger team physically in the half-court game is coming to the board, and as you point out, Ralph, racking up some personal fouls.
Pushes it down to 2 and a chance to cut it to a single point. He doesn't. Chievous thought he had it. Doug Smith with it. Missouri 3-on-2. Smith. That makes it 10-9. Doug Smith gets it. Rhode Island is 4 out of 8 from the field. Missouri is 3 out of 6. Missouri just picks up its first lead of the afternoon.
Boy, that's a long way to go. Really helped my game.
Derrick Chievous played well latter part of the season. Gets his 7th point of the game. Chievous playing the right of the face. Rhode Island open man-to-man. Stayed with it. Sandbody slamming it. Sandbody gets his first 2. 15-14. We got ourselves a first half.
And their teams reflect their personalities.
Denver's had some great teams up at 4. They beat Syracuse, among others. We had one of the great teams there, and that's here. That's Brian Irvin. He has 6 points. And Cheney of Temple was voted Coach of the Year yesterday. 17-15. Chievous. Smith. Doug Smith gets his 4th point. It's 19-15. That's the biggest lead.
Posting up where he's most dangerous. Evans giving away 2 inches. Couldn't get it there. He comes up top. Nice dump down pass. He froze the defense. When the ball gets
great condition. That's congenital. Doesn't even practice with the team. That's Chievous. He has number 9.
I hate to be
for Big Mo.
Well, it's crucial in Missouri that he have a big game. He's done everything. Top of the key, posting up there, a slashing drive underneath. 4 down, did he, for Rhode Island. He just manages to do something for that club positive.
Chievous. That's 11 for him, the first man to get double figures. A little over 200 that chartered an airplane to come down from Rhode Island. Actually chartered 2 planes. Here's Coward for 3. 26-23. 37.8 rebounds a game. Missouri is averaging almost 43. Chievous. Little ahead, fake, and you knew from the moment he picked up the...
Watch this square up now. This is why he was billed as one of the fine small forwards in the country. Pretty good defense. Good fake without even throwing the drive
by 6.
You know, a lot of times the marquee players don't live up to the billing, but so far Chievous and Derrick and Owens have all
touchdown. I think brings up an important point. The fact that you tend to grow more tired in an emotional ball game than you do normal regular season. Chievous, after the block shot, he did it both ends. Emily Friend, who was in position. Leonard at the line, the 7'1" man. Leonard getting his first points. He hits 44.6 from the free. 2:08 to go, first half.
Missouri not able to capitalize on the early foul problems they caused Rhode Island by establishing an inside game. They were able to find Chievous and the other stronger front court players of Missouri early, but then kind of
with Derrick. It'll be 2-on-2. Green on the left side. It goes, and a foul. They get him for charging.
I thought it was interesting. Green was having a hard time going from offense to so he's doing it, continuing the hot streak of more than 15 games now with 20 or more points.
Leonard, Chievous. Chievous has 17, and it's 36-30.
Those teams in the 60s in Connecticut was very tough in playing in the NCAA.
Leonard turning and getting it. Now that's something that Norm Stewart told me yesterday. He has Leonard on the rebound. Now to Chievous. They lead by 4. Chievous has 19 big ones. Missouri is on an 8-0 run. With 15 seconds left, they lead by 4, equaling their biggest lead.
Missouri staying zone.
Green putting it back in with 1 second. That's it for the first half. As Green finishes up with 8 points in the first half of play. That's the end of the first half with the score: Missouri 40, Rhode Island 38. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your locals. Rebound belongs to Missouri. Lynn Hardy. That's Chievous. He has 19 points.
Another career for Derrick Chievous running the floor.
Into Leonard. And Leonard walked with the ball. That's what happens when the 7'1" man, in most occasions, puts the ball down out of the floor. Sandbody. The line for the first time. You think the popularity of NCAA had 11 television people total covering it for the networks. They had 64 newspaper and radio people. Today here in Chapel Hill, we've got 412 classic points. Rhode Island 11, Missouri 2. That's a big tally.
It sure is, because the word was that it was Missouri off the boards that would be the challenge. And 15 minutes from an upset. 4-point lead.
Chievous got one good half as he comes through with 21 points, only 2 away from his average.
Number 3, Derrick Chievous, Band-Aid and all, showing the slashing move to the baseline. That time there was plenty of light blue jerseys in the way, but he managed to angle. He's been shooting with confidence.
Leonard off the glass. He has 6 points, his second field goal. And the game is tied at 50-all. Derrick getting his 14th point. It's going to be right back to answer it.
11 minutes inside.
Chievous. Church. Big move by Church as he comes through with his 4th point.
All in this. Missouri had established an inside game. Chievous now has been playing on the perimeter and basically has not been a foul problem.
They just lost it. Chievous for the tie. Chievous has 23 points, and the game is now tied up for the
minutes of this half. But against man for man, they had to work for it and did it.
Church getting it, and wasn't that a beautiful layoff by Sambodi?
Green. Chievous, who had 17 in the first half, struggling a bit in the second half, mostly because of lack of opportunity. Garrick, who was 1 for 8 in the first half.
Sambodi. Did a lot of work to get his 5th point.
That time Missouri attacked the press. They've been a little bit tentative against it. We talked. He's a Hall of Famer. You can't say more than that.
Missouri down by 4 has the ball. Derrick Chievous. They're down by 2 now. Chievous is 25.
Sorry, Ralph. Bad news for the Rams. A little bit too anxious. Evans upset because he thought he had a pretty good defensive rap on Chievous.
Firing a brick. Irving against Cena. Rebound belongs to Evans.
Boy, that's twice solo moves by the Missouri guards in the open floor.
And coming down the finish line, the stretch drive at Churchill.
Interesting, too. He's done everything in the second half for the Rams.
4:25 to go. Derrick Chievous. Derrick Chievous cuts it by 2 with his 28th point.
Can you guess what the Missouri has 9? And most of those haven't been looking to get the ball to this guy. Derrick Chievous.
29 for Derrick Chievous. They've lost 5 consecutive ball games, 4 of which have been in first-round play. Church got it. Foul on Cena. Church has his 8th point. The last time that Missouri won an NCAA game.
The light blue jerseys leaning toward number 3 that time. Forgot about Church underneath. Boy, what a tough shot. Bergen Cena coming from the...
A long time since they won back in 1982 when they beat Marquette 73-69.
Last year it was Xavier that upset him at the Hoosier Dome by 1, and Birmingham the year before, UAB Birmingham, they even lost in Hearns Center in Columbia on their home floor to Iowa in '83. So they have struggled, but they are capable.
And they're capable now of making a run. They have just cut it from a 7-point deficit down to a 1. Green trying to solve it to Cena. Hardy came through to defense it. It was Bergen Cena. Last time Rhode Island was in the NCAA, they lost to Duke 63-62. Duke lost the championship game to Kentucky in St. Louis. Kemper Arena.
Checking him down there.
Smith. Church. What a part he's played in this game. Greg Church has 11. He's going to be a big story as he just comes up with his 2-on-1. Cena. Missed it. What a break for the Kentucky. All of them played up there in Brooklyn on the playground.
There is a thread. Good point, Ralph.
Look at his foot hit the out-of-bounds line. So that's a missed call.
Great camera work.
Our producer, Mike Bird, picking that up very alertly in the truck. That's 20 points. 76-73, Rhode Island.
Tom Garrick is an 80% free throw shooter, so the percentage is not for Mizzou.
2. Church on the rebound. 4-pointer. There's a third foul on Chievous. Evans. I think that may matter little. They get the ball out of bounds. And Sam.
Well, the seeds here in the East, Rhode Island was 11th and Missouri 6th. But with the balance in college basketball today, Tom
Pender said it was the most important issue of the year. It was the swimsuit issue.
I told you he was laid back. He's out there catching rays on the beach up there. It's cool. And he's close to his first NCAA victory.
Derrick Chievous. It's there. Derrick Chievous is 33. And Mizzou wants a timeout. 47 seconds to go. 79-75, only 40.
They're going to get maybe some perimeter shooting by Missouri, but I got to believe they're going to go to Chievous down inside and try to get their three-point plays off.
There's 20 of 27 from the free throw line.
They were 74% coming in, but only the best free throw shooters have gone to the line today.
T&T ball game. It's there. That's a try for 3, and another timeout by Missouri. Practice yesterday. Howard on the steal, the block, and the try for 3. Chievous. With 14, he gets it, and he calls a timeout, but they didn't get it. And now there's a foul. It's going to be on Chievous. That's 4 on him. But Chievous just picked.
Probably preserved it mechanically.
9 seconds to go. 85-80. It is in. It is history. Tom Penders and Rhode Island have just won their 27th game of the year. And they go on to play one more game in the NCAA. They win at 87-80 over Missouri. Bucky.
A big win for the Atlantic 10. Again, snake bit in the first round. Missouri and Norm Stewart, a class act. Look at that. Under control, blows a kiss. That man's going to get to play on Saturday. Norm Stewart, it's back to Missouri.
For Bucky Waters, this is Ralph Acker saying so long for the Dean Smith Center. Once again, the final score, Rhode Island 87, Missouri 80. This has been an...
Well, I feel at times we were consistent on defense, sometimes we didn't. And I feel that when it was time to be consistent, that's when we needed a basket or we needed a turnover, and we really didn't get that.
I used to, when I started 25 or 30 years ago, I used to try to figure out how to have a winning season. We try and figure out how to win the national tournament. That's a hell of a lot better problem, men, than trying to figure out how to have a winning season.
It would have been like a big plateau for myself being my first NCAA win. But like I stated this year, 6 cylinders in 1 bullet, and we caught the bad bullet once again.
It was all about team. It wasn't about an individual. No one was bigger than the team.
Derrick Chievous, a blue-chip recruit from New York in 1984, became Missouri's all-time leading scorer.
Chievous at the buzzer.
He complemented Stewart's pipeline of Detroit recruits
Here comes Doug Smith. What a play!
that became the foundation of the team's success in the mid-'80s.
Just played hungry. Like we really wanted it.
By then, Stewart's Tigers were no longer a program on the rise. They were expected to be in the top 20 every season.
We are the Tigers. Step in position. A Big 8 title in this year's mission.
My business partner and I took the players to a dance studio. You would think those guys would have more rhythm, you know, than what they did have.
My name's DC from the streets of Queens. I came to Mizzou on a precious.
And they told me to conjure up some lyrics for a lot of my teammates that wasn't too fond of doing rap music.
My name is Lynn. I play to win. I run the court.
I remember them coming to me and saying, "We got this. We want you to do it." And I said, "I'm not doing it." And they're like, "No, you're going to do it. We've already written your lines for you." I said, "I'm not going to do it. I can't dance. I can't sing. I'm not going to embarrass myself."
I'm Greg Church from the Show Me State, a hard-working cat from old Mizzou.
I never thought my kids would see that.
I'm Stormin' Norm. I don't speak jive. After coach 20 years, I'm glad I'm alive.
I thought it was rather good.
None of us were any good. Even the guys who thought they were good weren't any good.
Hey, I'm proud to be a cat from old Mizzou.
I asked Derrick Chievous, one of his star players in the mid-'80s, what was his most memorable game at Missouri. And Derrick's answer was, I didn't have that one game that I remember. What I remember most of all was Coach Stewart asking me, because I was around during Christmas break one year, to go out and work with underprivileged children in the community and work in some of the poor neighborhoods. And I did that for 3 or 4 days. And for him, that was his single greatest memory of being at Missouri.